Imagine the first time you started learning a new language, the frustrations you had while memorizing the words and phrases, or when you're trying to figure out the different tenses and when to use them. That frustration can decrease with a simple task that starts at the very beginning of your education, having elementary schools teaching a foreign language. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how children have an advantage of learning a foreign language. Children can comprehend linguistics easier than adults. They learn lifelong learning skills through learning a foreign language, and children become more creative and diverse. Since children's brains are wired to absorb information, they can pick up languages a lot faster. Children have until they hit puberty for them to hit the prime of learning a new language. According to the article, Brain Development and Mastery of Language in Early Childhood Years by Elaine Shiver, critical periods in brain development accommodate the development of specific skills, language being of these. During certain times in the child's life, the brain is active in forming connections for specific abilities. While critical periods are prime times for the development of specific neural synapses, skills can still be learned after a window of opportunity has closed. But with greater time and effort, it is during these critical periods that lack of stimulation or negative experiences can have the most impact. Elementary schools need to take advantage of this short time span and help children learn a new language. You do not want to take away a child's opportunity to learn something beneficial to them. Children may not be able to fully comprehend a language at a young age, but it gives them a good backbone for them later in the future if they want to continue to pursue learning a new language. Doing this can be very, very beneficial to students later in their life. Like I said before, teaching children at a younger age will give them a good backbone for when they are an adult. According to the article, Should All Elementary Schools Be Required to Teach a Foreign Language by Jacob Wilson, states, once exposed to a second language as an infant or child, the brain is more likely to retain the ability to distinguish certain foreign sounds, making it a simpler process while learning a foreign language. Since a child has been exposed to a second language, they will have an easier time becoming bilingual, and that can help them become less frustrated. If they have an easier time learning another language, it can encourage them to strive to be bilingual. Being bilingual can help you communicate with people while other people may not be able to. Jobs look at this skill as very impressive and can help you become very successful. If you are able to become fluent in a second language, you'll be able to get higher pay, and you are better at multitasking, which can help you get a promotion in your job. The article, Can't Speaking Two Languages Increase Your Job Perspective by UEI College states, even as early in the hiring process as when you submit your resume, being bilingual makes an impression. As stated on knowing a second language makes your resume stand out and can boost you to the top of the interview list with potential employers. Teaching these students at a young age can help prepare for the future, which can eventually lead them to getting a good job because they are fluent in another language. Teaching these children young will help them improve tremendously, not just in speaking a new language, but also they are given the opportunity to speak to others who they may not be able to speak to if they didn't learn a new language. Children can become more creative if they are taught a foreign language. Bilingual children may have the ability to focus on one or more things and change their response. They require self-control, which helps them multitask. Since children who learn a different language have to think differently, it helps them become more creative. Children who are also bilingual also look at the world in a different light, which helps them be more accepting and curious of different cultures around the world. Children who can communicate with others will help them broaden their circle and expose children to new culture. In an article called Bilingual Education, 5 Reasons It Should Be Required by Matthew Lynch says, there are also the cultural benefits to the children learning 2 languages together. The children who come from English-speaking homes can lend their language expertise to friends from Spanish-speaking homes, and vice versa. Opening this window gives children the opportunity to share each other's cultures and ideas with one another. This can help teach students to appreciate each other's differences. Children will be able to create relationships with fellow peers because they have a basic understanding of foreign language. Since children can break the language boundary, they can recreate friendships that might not have happened because of a language boundary. Some people think that if children are taught another language on top of their native one, the second language is going to negatively affect the child's language. But it's quite the opposite, according to University of Michigan article, Advantages of Bilingual Brain by Tracy Trotner. The article states that as adults, we have to consider grammar and rules in practice, but young children absorb sounds, structures, notation, patterns, and the rules of a second language very easily. Up until the age of 8, young learners benefit from flexible ear and speech muscles that can detect differences between sounds of a second language. Children are not being negatively affected by learning a new language. Children are not being told to focus on grammar rules. For children, they must work on sounds and speech. This helps children pick up languages without losing the child's native language. So the next time you see someone who's speaking a foreign language or who is talking differently from what you know, think of all the benefits you could have if you would have started at a younger age. Today, I talked to you about how children have an advantage of learning a foreign language. Children can comprehend linguistics easier than adults. They learn lifelong skills through learning a foreign language, and children become more creative and diverse. Make sure to think about this if you have your own children. You want to make sure that they're learning skills that will help them for the rest of your life. Thank you.